Hello everyone. You are watching the channel in search of facts. Since people have learned how to design flying machines, they have been used to transport heavy and oversized cargo. In the history of aircraft construction, many transport aircraft have been created, which impress with their huge size. Today, we are going to show you the 10 largest cargo planes in the world. Let's go. Martin's Lockheed C-130J Super Hercules is an American military transport aircraft in medium and long range. The main military transport aircraft of the United States, NATO countries, and a number of other countries. It is the most common military transport aircraft in the world, operated by 65 countries. The carrying capacity of the aircraft is about 19 tons, the length is 30 meters, the wingspan is 40 meters. Since the end of the last century, the main serial version of the C-130 aircraft has been the Lockheed Martin C-130J modification. The main difference between the C-130J from its predecessors is the replacement of engines. With a more powerful Allison, a E-211003 with 6-blade propellers, and the installation of the latest avionics. The car is offered in two versions, the usual C-130J, and with an elongated fuselage C-130. 92 fully equipped infantrymen, or 64 paratroopers, can be accommodated in the cargo cabin of the C-130J aircraft. C-130J-30 takes on board, respectively, 128 infantrymen, or 92 parachutists. The aircraft can parachute a light Sheridan tank, as well as other weapons. The Airbus A400M Atlas was designed and built as an international project for the air forces of France, Germany, Italy, Great Britain, and several other countries. It is a 4-engine turbopropeller aircraft with a payload capacity of up to 37 tons. The Airbus A400M has wings made of carbon fiber and reinforced plastic. 8-blade propellers made of composite material are used as propellers. The screws on each wing rotate in the opposite direction, which is rarely used. The aircraft is equipped with a cargo ramp, on which it is possible to install cargo and equipment weighing at least 6 tons. This will make it possible to place all the main weapons samples without preliminary disassembly, including Un-64 Tiger, A-129 Puma H-90 helicopters, artillery guns, including 203mm howitzers M110, multiple rocket launchers, and armored personnel carriers. In addition to cargo, the aircraft can accommodate 116 personnel or 66 stretchers with the wounded on board. As for the size of the aircraft, its length is 45 meters, and the wingspan is 42 meters. Arrow's Spaceline's Super Guppy cargo plane Super Guppy was released in 5 copies, and today, only one of them is used. It is owned by NASA and is operated to deliver bulky cargo and spacecraft parts. The length of the aircraft is 44 meters, and the wingspan is 48 meters. The load capacity of the machine is slightly more than 24 tons. In the early 1970s, 2 Super Guppies were used by Airbus Industry to deliver large-sized parts to the final assembly plant in Toulouse. In 1982 and 1983, 2 more aircraft were built in France by UD Industries, after Airbus acquired the rights to produce the aircraft. With the arrival of a new transport aircraft of a similar configuration, Airbus Beluga, the aircraft were taken out of permanent operation. The Boeing 17 Globemaster 3 C-17 Globemaster 3 is one of the most common military transport aircraft of the US Air Force, used to this day. The aircraft is designed to transport military equipment and troops, as well as perform tactical missions. The carrying capacity of the C-17 is more than 76 tons, and its length and wingspan are 53 and 52 meters, respectively. Boeing, which merged with McDonnell Douglas in the 1990s, continues to produce the C-17 for export and for the US Air Force. The C-17 are in service with the US Air Force, the Royal Air Forces of Great Britain, Australia, Canada, the Air Forces of Qatar, the United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, India, and the NATO Heavy Air Transport Wing. The crew of the aircraft consists of 2 pilots and a loading and unloading operator. The aircraft can carry up to 102 parachutists, while the main cargo compartment can accommodate Un-64 Apache attack helicopters, M1 Abrams battle tanks, or 5-ton trucks. Loading is carried out through a reinforced rear cargo ramp with a hydraulic drive that can withstand a load of up to 18,150 kilograms. Airbus A300-600 Street Beluga is a jet cargo aircraft for the transportation of bulky cargo. which was developed on the basis of the Airbus Atrista series. The main purpose of the creation of the Hay 300 and 600 Street is to replace the Super Guppy transport aircraft. The Beluga owes its name to the shape of the hull, which resembles a beluga whale. The carrying capacity of the Beluga is 47 tons. The length and wingspan are 56 and 45 meters, respectively. The parts of the Airbus airliner, which is manufactured in 4 countries, are transported to the parent plants by air for final assembly. It was for operational transportation that the aircraft Hay 300-600 Street Beluga was created. The volume of the cargo cabin of the outwardly unusual aircraft was brought up to 1,400 cubic meters, and the maximum length of cargo transported in an airplane can be up to 40 meters. The plane is lifted into the sky by 2 General Electric turbojet engines. The power of the available 2 engines is quite enough to lift a rather big plane into the air, especially considering that it transports in the vast majority of cases oversized, but not very heavy loads. Antonov An-22 Anti is a Soviet-made heavy transport aircraft, the largest turbopropeller aircraft in the world. It is designed for long-distance transportation of heavy and bulky weapons and military equipment and troops, as well as for parachuting and landing air landings. Currently, the aircraft is used by the Russian Air Force and the Ukrainian cargo airline Antonov Airlines. The carrying capacity of the An-22 is 60 tons. The aircraft is equipped with 4 turboscrew engines and 12M. They drive 4-bladed and coaxial screws. The front screw turns to the right and the rear one to the left, and provide the car with high speed and load capacity. The equipment set of the aircraft includes landing seats with seat belts and oxygen equipment. In total, the aircraft can accommodate 290 people on board. The length of the An-22 is 57 meters, and the wingspan is 64 meters. Boeing 747 Dreamlifter, this transport aircraft, is a modified version of the Boeing 747. It was built and is used exclusively for transporting parts of the Boeing 787 aircraft. The maximum load capacity is 113 tons, the length of the aircraft is 72 meters, and the wingspan is 64 meters. A special feature of the Dreamlifter is its unusual appearance. The clumsy appearance was compounded by the fact that, due to the need for immediate testing, the first model remained unpainted for a long time. Scott Carson, president of Boeing, jokingly apologized to the father of Boeing 747, Joe Satter. "Sorry for what we did with your plane." The first loading of parts 787 on the Larsh cargo freighter was carried out in June of the 2006 year. The delivery time of wings for the Boeing 787 from Japan was reduced from 30 days by sea to 8 hours of flight, thanks to the use of this aircraft. The Lockheed C-5 Galaxy is an American military transport aircraft, the largest aircraft of the US Air Force in its class. The Lockheed C-5 Galaxy is capable of carrying 6 helicopters or 2 large tanks in its cargo hold. The total weight that the aircraft can transfer is more than 118 tons. The length of the aircraft is 75.5 meters, and the wingspan is 68 meters. If we talk about military equipment, then the aircraft can transfer to M1 Abrams main battle tanks by air. The aircraft can take on board 363 fully equipped fighters, 10 BBME-25, 6 Black Hawk helicopters, or to sealed containers with Minuteman intercontinental ballistic missiles. The first flight of the aircraft took place on the 30th of June, 1960th year. A total of 81 vehicles were built to equip 4 squadrons. In addition, the C-5 has an additional loading capability through an upward folding nose made of protective glass, and retractable landing gear with 28 wheels for operation with very heavy cargo from unequipped airfields. Antonov An-124 Ruslan An-124 is a heavy military transport aircraft for long-distance transportation, the largest in the world of all serial commercial cargo aircraft. It was designed primarily for the air transportation of intercontinental ballistic missile launchers, as well as for the transportation of heavy military equipment. The carrying capacity of An-124, 120 tons. The first flight of the aircraft took place on the 24th of December, 1982nd year. In 1985th year, it was first shown to Soviet journalists, and then presented to the world community at the Aviation exhibition in Paris. In the same year, the An-124 set 21 world records at once, including flight range and payload records. The aircraft was created according to the classical scheme, with high-pitched wings of a small sweep and 4 turbojet engines. Inside the cargo cabin, for Mi-8 helicopters, an entire train car used in the subway. Or an Estisto superjet aircraft with the wings and tail removed can be accommodated. And the most amazing thing is that Un-124 Ruslan can translate the launch vehicle of the hangar. Antonov Un-225, Mriya Un-225 is currently the largest aircraft in the world. With a length of 84 meters and a wingspan of 88 meters, the Mriya has an ultra-large load capacity and can lift about 250 tons of air. Initially, the Un-225 was designed and built to transport components